parking spot. So what we're gonna be talking about in the next few videos is instruction, motivation, and correction. What I want to discuss is, you may have heard the compliment sandwich, where somebody says something positive and then they follow it up with a negative and they say something positive again. And it might just be me, my personality, but I always felt that was a little bit insincere. You already know, it's like a setup. You already know you're gonna say something negative to me, so you're just thinking about what are the positive things I can tell this person so that they can digest the negative a lot better. And that just seems fake. You know, it's like, you need to eat your broccoli, so how am I gonna make you do it? Okay, let's get some chocolate cake, let's get some incentives. Just eat your freaking broccoli, okay? That's what you need to do, like, just eat it. And if you can't handle eating your broccoli, then kind of like, yeah, you might be in the wrong sport, right? Because it's like, point your toes. I don't need to beg you, I don't need to, hey, good job on that tuck jump, can you point your toes now? You know, and thanks for listening, just point your toe. It doesn't have to be this overdone thing. So I'm gonna get into more, is there a better way? And I think there is. I think there is a better way, and I've found it be more successful because now I'm not being insincere. Now I'm not fishing for a compliment just so I can dish out a negative, essentially. And that is through instruction, motivation, and correction. And I put it in the gym, I practice it, I use it on my employees, I use it on people I talk to, and I've gotten positive feedback from it. So I'm gonna go shopping, get some shirts because I'm tired of wearing the same shirts, ran out of clothes essentially. So I was gonna buy 17 shirts, but only one fit me. Jesse, we're leaving, let's get in the car. The main thing we want to talk about today is instruction, motivation, and correction. And the reason why I came up with this is because I'm a pretty straightforward, honest person. If you're doing a bad job, I want to be able to tell you you're doing a bad job. That's just and then let's fix it, right? Let's not dwell on it, but let's fix it. And I think the main thing that we have going on, and this is more philosophical, the world today, is we're afraid of hurting people's feelings. But growth comes through pain, right? It's called growing pains for a reason. And so if you're not gonna give somebody the truth, if you're not gonna say, this is the truth, how are you gonna deal with it? Then really, what do you got going on? You're sitting at a stoplight, it's exciting. The compliment sandwich was the whole thing, a positive, negative with a positive. Sandwich it, oh, that'll make you feel good, right? I don't like that. I just wanna be able to say, hey, your feet are flexed, you need to point them. Because the compliment sandwich is basically saying, let me think about your feelings first before I deliver the truth. And I wanna be able to just deliver the truth and then worry about your feelings after. That might seem a little callous, but we're talking about gymnastics here. You don't have time to waste making somebody feel good because they tapped wrong on their Takachev. You just need to be able to say, hey, fix your tap swing, this is how you do it. When somebody's doing a double back, you don't have time to worry about their feelings when you're giving them a correction. It's just, here's the correction, take it, do the double back, improve. There's not an emotional attachment. I think some people think that when you're giving a correction or giving information, it's as if it's coming from an emotional place, but it really shouldn't. If you're a coach coaching from an emotional place, then you actually are kind of being held captive by your own emotions. You gotta be able to coach in a neutral position. You're gonna say, point your toes, point your toes, point your toes 17 times. The kid's never gonna point their toes. It's not our job to get emotional about it and go, I've told you 17 times to point your toes, why aren't you pointing your toes? If they don't want to, they don't want to. That's not going to influence how I feel about you. I think that's a problem in gymnastics, is a lot of times when our athletes don't perform to our expectations, we take it personally and then we hold it against them. We think that they're trying to irritate us. They're being defiant or something. I told you to point your toes 17 times and you haven't already. You must be defiant. Maybe they just don't care. Until they start caring, there's not a lot of influence that can happen. So instruct, motivate, correct. The whole idea is how you basically download information. Growing isn't comfortable, so instruct, motivate, correct is more about delivering the truth in a way that is palatable and that really the athlete can take it and go, okay, great, this is what I can do with it. And then you just keep the cycle going. The detail work is what's a constant, okay? And so that can't be something that you find boring. And so with instruct, motivate, correct, it's all about giving the information that you need. This is what I want, okay, here's some information. And then I'm gonna motivate you through it. Motivation is not flattery. Motivation's like, let's do it together. Let's get it done. Let's find a way. And then you give them a correction. You're like, cool, you did something. Here's what how we're gonna step, and just keep building off of it. You can't sit there and compliment them a million times and all of a sudden their cast of handstands is gonna get better. It isn't gonna get better, okay? You gotta go put in some work. And so to put in work, it's get the information, that's your instruction. Then motivate them through the process and be like, hey, we got some work to do, let's go. And motivation comes in many different forms. We'll talk about that later in videos. And then you motivate the person, they're gonna get it wrong. That's you should accept the fact that they're gonna get it wrong. That's learning. So that's why correction comes into place. You don't need to give them another compliment when they do it wrong. You simply need to say, cool, it didn't work out the way we planned, did it? Nope. Great, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna change it. This is how we're gonna tweak it. That's the training cycle. That's the process from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. It's that here's some information, let's motivate and get through it. We gotta go to competition season. We gotta make some correction, adjustment. You do it on a weekly basis, a monthly, a daily. It's all the same. And so that's really instruct, motivate, correct. We're gonna go get some food with Jesse. We're gonna eat and we'll talk some more about really what are those pieces and how do they really look and how do we really apply them.